Clarinda Morales, and I'm very happy to be on the show with Jerry.
Thank you. Clarinda is half Filipina, half Chinese.
I'm actually a fourth Chinese, and I am 3/4 Filipina.
Oh, wow. Cool.
Filipino American.
She's got a little bit of Chinese.
Yeah.
That's why I bonded with her.
Yeah, except my mom was like, I'm not going to teach you Chinese. You guys aren't going to get it. It's too hard.
So you grew up raised as a completely Filipino culture?
Yes, Filipino American. In that both of my parents didn't teach me Tagalog or their respective dialects or Chinese.
Oh, interesting.
So we just grew up speaking English.
English, okay.
Yeah.
And when did you discover your love for stand-up comedy?
So I did this thing called speech and debate in high school.
Me too.
No, you didn't. You know humorous interpretation?
We only had Lincoln Douglas debate.
Okay, so I didn't do debate because I think I would just like tear a new asshole in people. So instead, I did humorous interpretation, which was basically a gateway to being addicted to laughs. And I was not like a theater geek. I was in theater, but really what made me want to do like sort of a stand-up or one-woman performance was humorous interpretation. Yeah, so it was me doing a whole play with, like, say, 10 different characters, but just me.
Oh,
so
I see.
Yeah.
So you got used to doing, like, being a one-person show.
Yes.
And that's how it led to stand-up once you graduated.
Stand-up was a passion because I got really into political comedic theater.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, in San Francisco with San Francisco Mime Troupe. It was this commedia dell'arte kind of theater that's been around for 35 years, since the 60s. And they did a lot of political theater and street theater, and I realized the power of comedy.
Wow.
And and I started actually studying, because I'm a nerd like that, and I was doing papers on the history of comedy. And then I fell in love with doing stand-up.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, what was your shtick when you did stand-up?
My shtick was being 19 and thinking 25 was old, so my perspective was very like a 19-year-old girl, whatever, getting hit on by creepy old men.
Oh, so you did a lot of sort of dating-related humor.
I did a lot of that. I did a lot of interracial dating. I did a lot of my mom, sounds like this, or she gave me,
of course. So I would pull that stuff too if I were
like total Chinese tiger mom, like you're not good enough, you know. Yeah, which is like free comedy.
Of course. The dating stuff, was that pulled from real life experiences too?
Yes, because I was an interracial dater for sure.
Oh, nice.
So a lot of it was about bringing different races home, and one of my jokes was, you know what they say, once you go black, you can never go back home. Something like that,
Interesting.
Stuff like that. Like, so, it was in the stand-up world, it's no holds bar. You just,
of course,
there is no reining. You're free. So I can say whatever I want.
Exactly. So when did you pick up the documentary and type of work?
Oh, so that was at the same time. So professionally, so I went to UCLA and I did both theater and film. That was my passion, as I wanted to be a director. But I fell into documentary, and then I found that was powerful. So the medium for film, as we're using, as well film media, alongside the voice and the expression of stand-up, they were both two very powerful mediums. But I figured with film and media, you can reach millions of people at one time, versus in a live show, it's like this high of making an auditorium of people laughing, but then it's just that auditorium at that moment in time. And so I got addicted to both, and I think that it was simultaneous. It just sort of happened that way. I always sort of resisted the documentarian side, the serious, because I wanted to do like the silly comedy, but I realized that this world, it needs both.
Yeah. So it needs serious, and it needs not so serious, and it also needs fleeting moments and lasting moments.
That's correct.
So you kind of like fulfilled all four of those things with the sort of the bifurcation of stand-up and then documentarian.
Yeah, well, I remember being in a bar waiting to do like some dive, like to do stand-up, and I remember journaling, and I was like, I figured out what I wanted to be in life, and I realized that if you want to be, you know, it's some dark times, right? So if you want to be a light in this world, not to be all cheesy or whatever, it's important to be a light in this world. And what does that mean? Well, light in terms of levity, comedy, light in terms of enlightening people, shedding the light on issues. So that's documentary for me. And being light, like having community and being warm with people. So that's what I feel like you're doing, and I feel like I have a great passion in doing the same thing.
Wow.
Yeah. So
what are some documentaries you've worked on, or what are some future documentary ideas?
So there was this one documentary I worked on. I was associate producer on, but it was for Showtime. It was called Reversal of Fortune, and it was one of my first travel feature documentaries where we gave a homeless man $100,000 and documented how he spent it.
Oh, I've heard about this.
Yeah.
So you worked on it?
Yeah, I worked on it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And tell me, what was the progression? What happened?
He ended up being homeless again, but it did change his life in that he had a lot of pride, and he reconnected with his family.
Oh.
And so, you know, it just documented the humanistic tendencies. I guess if someone gives you $100,000, to us that's not much, right?
I'd take it though.
Yeah, it goes really quick. So, but stuff like that, like, and I've done like a shorts on abortion, which is a really relevant topic right now.
Yeah, right now, because the current administration, I don't remember if they implied or they said explicitly they might want to overturn Roe v. Wade or something like that.
Well, it started. I don't know if you are aware of what's happened in Ohio. But they've already banned abortion. It's illegal to perform abortions.
So it's gonna go up to the Supreme Court eventually. It looks like. Wow.
I hope not. So I don't know. Everyone, we got to fight for our rights. We're back at that. We're back in the '60s where we have to fight for civil rights and, like, truthfully, truthfully, we've gone backwards, guys. But I'm not one to talk too much about politics, but I know the sentiment and the feeling and the fear that's going on, and which is why there's a lot more place in dialogue and just one talking about what can we do.
So what are some of your future sort of plans as an artist?
My future, current.
Yeah, current, future. Yeah.
I say that because, and any artist will. You know, I feel like I'm preaching the choir here. When you're doing something that you're passionate about, it takes time.
Yeah.
And your future is really your current. What are you doing now to make that future happen? Because it'll take a year, 3 years. I heard a great saying: "Don't start anything for 5 months if you're not willing to do it for 5 years."
Oh.
And I believe that's really true. You think it's going to be 1 year, and then it's 2, and then it's 3. But if you love it and you're really passionate about it, then it doesn't feel like 5 years.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So I wrote a feature, and I want to produce it, get it off the ground, and then write more.
Can you reveal sort of a very general gist what the feature is about?
Sure. Yeah. It's about a 11-year-old boy from the Philippines who wants to save his brother who's dying by being abducted by aliens.
Oh, interesting. So he wants to fake that he's being abducted by aliens, try to spin a story, get press publicity?
No, you'll just have to read it.
Okay, all right.
You have to watch it when it comes out in 5 months to 5 years.
Okay, all right. So you've finished the script?
Finish is a very strong
That's
word.
True. But you already have a draft of it.
I have a good third draft.
Oh, cool. Cool.
So,
have you shopped it around, or are you in the stage you want to produce it yourself?
I'm in the stage where I wanted to get to a place where someone would be inspired by the script and put money into it. So.
All right.
So hopefully it'll be a co-production. I've shot in the Philippines before, as well as the States, and so hopefully it'll be a production in that way.
That's pretty cool. What did you shoot in the Philippines?
Oh, I had a short film called The Beautiful Lie, and I shot it in the Philippines and New York, and it was this nice just story about a girl who would lie about her life to her dying grandma in the Philippines.
Just to make the grandma feel better.
To make it sound better than it is.
Oh, that sounds like a beautiful film.
Thank you.
If I find it online, is it online?
It will be someday.
Okay.
Hopefully.
We'll have to link it one day
Yeah.
in the description. Or
Hopefully
whatever.
it'll just be free for everyone to watch.
A Beautiful Lie.
Yeah, it's a story that I believe in because I feel like it's something that people can relate to, and at the end of the day, we want to be our best selves for, at least for me, I think it's for our family. Deep down, we just want to pay back our ancestors for all the hard work that they've given to us. I'm first generation, so I owe so much to my ancestors and before me. So
Well,
it's all about honoring your ancestors.
I like it. You got a little bit of traditionalism in you. It's pretty good.
Yeah. Traditional gal, you
Nice.
know.
And how many siblings do you have?
I have 3, so we're 4.
Are you
boys,
the
2
oldest?
girls. I'm the second.
No.
Yeah. So yeah, we're Chicago immigrated, and we were born in Chicago, and
3 years.
and LA raised. You?
Yeah.
No way.
Skokie.
I know where Skokie is. One of my scripts was written in Skokie. I swear.
Wow,
I promise.
that's awesome.
I've been to Skokie. No way.
That's crazy.
Skokie, Illinois.
Yeah.
Look at this guy. I don't know what it is about. Would you agree when Obama got into office and especially when he wrote in Audacity of Hope about Chicago, I just felt so much pride of having Obama in office because of his Chicago roots, or his Illinois roots. I know he's roots everywhere, like Hawaii and everywhere, but he has real adult roots in Illinois, and I'm really proud of that. Hey, go Cubs!
I grew up very little when I was in Chicago, so honestly,
Me too.
I don't have that sort of sport fan pride. When I was there, the Chicago Bulls were still with Michael Jordan and
yeah.
everything, so that's the
Chicago
only thing I
Bulls.
remember of Chicago sport-wise.
Yeah. Well, don't let the fact that it's Midwest fool you, everybody.
Yeah, Chicago's
Illinois is a different beast, and
they got the nice Midwesterner vibe,
Yeah.
but it's also a big city. That's why
Big
Chicago's
city.
so beautiful. It's just a little too cold, and then it's too stuffy in the summer. But
Yeah.
Chicago's as long as you're okay with really cold winters,
and
it's
ice
a nicer
snot.
version.
Yeah. Then you're okay.
Yeah, it's a different. It's like a nicer version of New York. It really is.
Nicer.
You're much better.
I don't know. It's colder. It's a colder version of.
I mean, nicer.
of
People
New
are
York.
nicer.
Yeah.
You could have a conversation for 20 minutes with anyone in Chicago. Isn't that crazy?
You said Chicago like a Chicagan.
Yeah, I did.
You're all Chicago. Chicago.
That's right.
My relatives there will hate me. They're like, "What are you talking about? I only lived there for 8 years, so of my life. But I could actually claim some major street cred. I lived my first 2 years in Southside. So
Oh wow.
Yeah.
In a Filipino neighborhood.
in an apartment, we had surrogate grandparents who
Wow.
it was awesome.
Wow.
But anyway, I'm just saying this is a good year for not a good year for elections, but a great year for sports, at least.
Yeah, if you're a
In my
Chicago
book.
person, yeah, of course. Cool. Awesome. Thank you
Thank
guys
you
so much.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody.
And do you have a website or something they can check out?
So I don't have a personal website, but I'm on Facebook, Clarinda Morales. Add me.
Clarinda, like Clarinda.
Yeah.
Clarinda. And then
Clarinda
Morales. This
Morales.
is how you spell Morales.
Yes, and my website is inspiralprod.com because I am a professional filmmaker. So let me know if I can, help you. If you have a startup or if you have a vision, let me know if I can help do media for your vision.
Or if you need a stand-up comedian at an event.
If you need a stand-up comedian, yes, in your company, just in the closet somewhere in your office, just like, hey, we need a lunch break.
Do you do any accents?
No accents. My mom So horrible accent.
So yeah, you do that. The only accent I do, I like to make fun of like sort of ignorant Southern white people. And
Let's hear it.
So
Let's hear it.
Jerry, what's the difference between Chinese people and Vietnamese people? I had a girl actually ask me that. She was from Louisiana.
Really?
Yeah, she's like, what's the difference between Chinese people and Vietnamese people? And then I turned that little event and I like, you know, turned into a Shaggy Dog story. But so like, and then another incident. This is, by the way, for those of you watching, this is how stand-up comedians like construct jokes. They take another incident and they just put it in the most funny thing and like draw it out. But another incident back in middle school, someone took a Made in China sticker and put it on my head to be funny. So when I tell, I just laughed. But for the sake of that routine, I attribute it to her too. I said, so after I explained it to her, you know, Chinese people are up there, Vietnamese people down here, and then she took the sticker that was on her phone that said Made in China, she put it on my forehead. Yeah, you're Made in China, right, Jerry?
Real original, whoever that was.
Yeah. And then, so my shtick, my punchline is like, yeah, it's Made in China. You know what you are? You were made in a trailer.
Damn, so, we don't have any stickers for that.
Yeah.
Made in trailer.
Or there's more. Made in a trailer at a family reunion, but you know, made in a trailer is good enough. I honestly don't need the family reunion part because that's not original. Someone else told it.
Made by our parents. No, okay, that's horrible.
Made in a trailer. No. I'm still working on that joke.
It took a dark turn. It was nice talking to you.
Yeah, nice talking to you too.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Nice meeting you.
Yeah, nice meeting you.
Jerry, follow him.
Definitely leave
Subscribe.
a comment, like, and you know, there's a little clock button next to subscribe. You can click it, and then that way you'll get notifications every time I upload. So thank you guys. Leave a comment.
Bye.
Bye-bye.